with a win over Tennessee. On that note, we bring in our quarterback, Dan Orlovsky. Dan, hope you had a nice weekend. Top of the morning to you, but you know who I am starting with right now. That would be the one and only Stephen A. Smith, and your facial expressions are priceless, Stephen A. Tell me this, do you feel like you owe Baker an apology, maybe his wife too?
The answer would be hell no. Let me start by saying this. Baker Mayfield, really, the wife? Really? That's where we're going? As a man that was raised by 5 women, I know better, and plus I'm incredibly respectful. So I would like to say that when it comes to Miss Emily Mayfield, I would love to say that I loved her tweet, because I love to see a woman who loves her man so dearly she wants to stand by him and support him, and major props to her. Not that she needs any props from me, but you know what? That's why she's Mrs. Mayfield, because she's something special to stand by her man like that. Congratulations, and congratulations to him for having a wonderful woman like her. Having said all of that, I will say this: far be it for me to take the position that I took. This is a person that did not have an impressive record against winning teams with winning records, if you recall, Mrs. Mayfield. So I would say that as number one. Number two, over the previous 4 weeks, he was completing 57% of his passes. I think it was like 2 touchdowns and, 1 or 2 turnovers. He was relatively pedestrian. When you look at the multitude of weapons that he has available to him, a stout running game in Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, Jarvis Landry, and those boys can ball, and obviously they look a little bit better without Odell Beckham Jr. because he doesn't get to focus on them. The defense, they really get after the quarterback, courtesy of Myles Garrett. Their secondary isn't too shabby, and Kevin Stefanski is pretty much known for operating around Baker Mayfield and basically saying, to use Baker Mayfield's words, don't do anything stupid. Don't give the game away. Don't blow it up. If that's your definition of success, I can live with that. What I'm saying is what Bart Scott said. Considering the bevy of weapons that Baker Mayfield has available to him, if this dude is that dude, and he plays the way that he played yesterday, because he was sensational yesterday. He really was. It was very impressive. He plays that way. I agree with Rex Ryan. Cleveland Browns got a shot to win it all if Baker Mayfield looks that way. But none of us expect him to. None of us expect a repeat performance. None of us expect him to throw 4 touchdowns in the first half, being the first quarterback for the Browns since Otto Graham in 1951 to do so. Nobody's expecting that from Baker Mayfield. Nobody's expecting Baker Mayfield to throw for 330-plus yards and complete about 90% of his passes. Nobody's expecting that from Baker Mayfield. We see that. Then the Cleveland Browns are a different franchise. They're different anyway right now, because bottom line is they're about to get to the playoffs, and major props to them and Coach Stefanski for that. You've seen the upgrade. There's a difference. There's levels to this between him and Freddie Kitchens, and we understand that. But if you want to sit out there and say one game basically eradicates any argument that has been made against Baker Mayfield, you go right ahead. I'm not rooting against the brother. I wish him luck. I love his personality, those sound bites, the things that he has to say. If he backs it up with his performance on the field of play, Baker Mayfield is a headline grabber, because we know that brother can really talk, and he can really sing. We get all of that. Plus the brother can dance too. Let's give him credit for that. But the point is, we don't really expect that from him, which is why I said what I said. I stand by it. And if he continues to do that, then I will commit my mea culpa. But 1 week doesn't get that done. My apologies.
So here's the stat I want to give you fellas on how confident they were in Baker getting his swag back like he was winning the Heisman Trophy at Oklahoma. More from Baker here in just a second. He was absolutely amazing. The Browns scored essentially on their first 6 possessions. They went field goal and then 5 straight touchdowns. Think about that. I don't care who the opposition is. Field goal, 5 straight touchdowns on their first 6 possessions. It was 15 months ago. Jim Nantz, Tony Romo, Tracy Wolfson, huge game. The Browns breakout year. They're in the house. They're taking on the Tennessee Titans. It was supposed to be the Browns coming out party. And then the Titans just slapped them up and down the field. 15 months later, revenge is the Browns. And as Mike said, they are 9-3. Fellas, what can you say about Kevin Stefanski? What more can you say about this guy?
Nothing, really. I mean, I guess this is a signature win that we all kind of
we're waiting for, right?
We're kind of waiting for, so to speak. I actually picked Cleveland to win the division at the beginning of the year. They're not going to win the division, but they're certainly going to backdoor into a wild card playoff spot here. And when you look at them, it's just something that Kevin Stefanski came with a plan, and his plan was to duplicate some of the same things that he did in Minnesota with Kirk Cousins, and he's gotten Baker Mayfield to play within that system, and they're running the ball with Chubb. So it allows them in the passing game to run play-action passes and be able to push the ball down the field off the play-action pass. It allows the receivers to have double moves. Think about People Jones there. He ran a double move off a small boot. Touchdown. And so as you start to look at what they want to do, you start to say, okay, this team has a recipe to be able to be portable because they can run the ball. They're weatherproof because they're in Cleveland. So wherever they travel to, the weather will not be an issue. And if it is, they can handle it because they got two studs of a back. They got Chubb and they got Kareem Hunt, and they got a quarterback that is protecting the football now. So I think that this is a football team to watch out for.
Kobe said it to Paul Gasol one time, you got to put your big boy pants on. And Cleveland put their big boy pants on yesterday. And it all started with Baker Mayfield. Now, we know Kevin Stefanski has done an incredible job with this team, changing the mantra of them, run first, pass second. But Baker Mayfield, 4 TDs in the first half. And I said this, previewing the game, the Titans have the 28th worst pass defense in the league. Yeah. And whoever gets ahead in this game, you know that the Titans offense isn't built just to come back because they're a run-first offense as well. Look, the ceiling that the Browns have is high. It's high. And I don't even feel like they came close to touching it yesterday. I feel like they're still on the verge. And I'll say this. I know Pittsburgh is undefeated. I think that Cleveland team can beat Pittsburgh. I'm not sure they can beat Kansas City Chiefs, but I think that Cleveland team we saw yesterday, if Baker Mayfield plays at his potential, he played like the number one pick. I'm not saying he's consistently played the number one pick. I'm not saying they're going to change up the offensive scheme of the team and the way they play. They still will be a run-first offense. But if he's able to give them breath, air, spirit like that, that's a team with a high ceiling that can go far. Damn you, Adam Gase. One win. You had it. And then you chose not to have it, I guess. Self-sabotage, Keith?
No.
Greg Williams self-sabotage?
No, why?
Blitz on the last play?
No, Greg is just dialing up what he knows how to dial up. They're not going to be there next year, so they're not benefiting by getting the number 1 overall pick because they're not going to be there coaching them. At least I don't think they're going to be there coaching them. Let's just say that.
Crazier things have happened, as evidenced by the final play there with Derek Carr.
Ain't no way in hell, Zubin, you fit to sit here and tell me there's a slight chance that they can be their coach. No. There's no way.
Bye, Felicia.
There's no way.
I would agree. We're presented by Progressive Insurance. All of our guests join us on the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. I mean, it's not like Greg Williams' reputation could get any worse on and off the field, so might as well just do it. ESPN NFL front office insider Mike Tannenbaum joins us this morning on the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. Pennzoil synthetic motor oil is made from natural gas. It gives you unbeatable engine protection. The proof's in the Pennzoil based on Sequence 4A wear test using SAE. 5W30. Mike, you were a GM for a couple of different teams, including Gang Green. What do you think's going on in the front office first thing this morning after their latest debacle?
You're feeling heartbreak like everybody else. And look, you have to have one eye to the future, but you also have a responsibility to those players and coaches. And I agree, it's inconceivable how they defended that play yesterday. You have to defend the goal line, and you have Lamar Jackson, an undrafted free agent, trying to defend Henry Ruggs, the most explosive player one-on-one. It's inconceivable. But the other thing you're doing as a GM, you're looking towards the future. You're putting your list together so you're ready to go at the end of the year. And I just agree with what Keith said. It's really, at this point, I don't see there's any way that Adam Gase keeps his job at the end of the year.
Wait, Mike, I didn't say he's going to keep his job. I said there's no way.
No,
He agreed with you.
Oh, I thought he said he didn't agree with me. All right. Let me ask you this, though, Mike. Why hasn't the Jets fired him? Why haven't they fired him yet? Why are they holding on to him? Like, let it go.
Key, right. Here would be my only sort of justification if I'm the Jets. 2 weeks ago was the first time this year that you had Sam Darnold with their top 3 receivers, Denzel Mims, Jamison Crowder, Rashad Perryman. And if you brought Adam Gase in to develop Sam Darnold, maybe you want to say, hey, over the last 6 weeks, is there any chance this could get better? So if you want to give him the benefit of the doubt, I guess that's the one reason you would have said, hey, let's give Sam Darnold and Adam Gase a chance together, because the last year and a half have been choppy.